Millions of years.
Millions
Like,
and millions.
a T-Rex wasn't even alive at the same time as other dinosaurs. Like, what do you mean? They were all next door neighbors on Pangea.
Yeah. And so
I'm CJ. And I'm Lou. Grab your tinfoil hat and tune into Speculating Wildly, your #1 source for completely accurate, opinion-based news. Usually I say 1, 2, 3 before we clap to get our recording started, but today I said ready, set, go. And I'm excited to see how that affects the energy in here today.
it's going to be palpable.
Palpable.
I don't listen to Harry Styles. No hate. But
Right.
I listened to his new album on behalf of my friends. And the only song I really cared about is called Ready, Steady, Go.
Okay.
And that's not what
I
you
also
said.
don't listen to Harry Styles. And not because of hate, but just because I go,
Yeah. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I go, this noise doesn't sound good to me. One time, oh my god, I talked about like what it would be like if I ever have to go on a first date again, and I said, oh, like a good question would be sort of like, music is sounds that you like. Which one is your favorite?
That's true.
Because music is just, it's noise, or maybe I even said noise. No!
I know.
I've suffered a travesty.
It's hard. I do agree that music is noise. And there's different types of noises. I really think it's really coming in with an amazing hot take. Music is all different types of noises.
I agree. And a noise and sound are almost the exact same thing. How would you differentiate between a noise and a sound if you had to?
A noise...
I can't wait.
A noise is like an onomatopoeia's brother, but
I'm loving this.
A sound is sort of like an umbrella term. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, and was really good practice for what we came here to do today. We are going to play a little game. I'm so excited about it. I love a little game. And this game is called Explanations from a Hat. So, as you can see, we fashioned these beautiful tinfoil hats that will keep us safe from the mind control powers of the powers that be. And then we're going to fill them with topics.
Yeah.
Pick a topic from the hat, and then the other person will have to explain that topic to us, that concept, that whatever it is, to the best of their ability based solely on the knowledge that they have in their head at this very moment. I'm excited.
I'm also very excited. I just, sort of, the way that I wrote things down, I just put words there.
And that's exactly right. Okay. It's kind of just like, it's explain this.
And I put one blank paper in. So sorry.
Ooh.
I put one blank paper in just to see what you'd say.
Oh my god, okay. I can't wait. As you can tell, I am a child. First of all, as you can tell, I'm a child.
Totally.
Second of all, I was a child reared on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that's why I am the way that I am today. Not conspiratorial, just annoying.
And games from a hat.
And games from a hat, exactly. Okay, how's your brain feeling today? Is it feeling ripe and ready? Is it feeling, I know I'm noticing the cat behind you as well. For those of you who can't see,
there's a cat.
Lou's cat was just climbing up the wall.
I think there's spirits in that corner. It's been an active corner for the past week or so.
Ooh, for the past week. Have you brought anything new into the home in the past week that would...
Yeah, actually.
What is it?
Can't put it in.
Oh god, okay. Well, tell me off. Oh! Let's bleep it out.
Yeah. Well, I can.
Wow. Okay, so we just heard a lot of huge news that is just for the two of us. Okay, do you want to pull the first explanation or give the first explanation?
I think, just to make sure the energy is the best possible, I want to hear what you have in your hat first.
Okay. So, Lou, if you would be so kind as to please explain the rules of American football.
Okay. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
First of all, 1 ball, 2 teams.
I'm loving the way this is starting. Absolutely, absolutely.
Big field, as we've discussed previously. Probably yards worth of field.
If not meters.
100.
Or so.
Or 200. Boys only.
Yes.
Big guys, some little guys.
Yep.
My friend Cody, I really tried to explain football during the Super Bowl. So I know the lines mean things. The quarterback.
He's on the team.
The quarterback's like the popular one. And he has actually, did you know this? An earpiece. And he's the only one with an earpiece. And so he has to say what I think the coach is saying. The way coach has headset. Coach has headset.
Like Britney Spears?
Yeah. And then big guys, linebackers. Not sure what they do, probably stop the other guys. Little guys, don't know what their job title is, but they're probably more agile. For like leaping. And they leap out there. Totally.
Yeah, they're doing grangetés and the other dance moves that I know the names of. I hope that you asked me to explain some dance. Obviously, I'm great at it.
Shoot. No dance questions yet.
Darn.
I can. And one team, you got to get the ball from one end to the other, opposite ends for opposite teams. Goalpost is 3 points, 1 point. Touchdown, 7 points. Field goal, extra 3 on the 7 makes 10. I don't know. And you have to get brain damage. You have to opt out of wearing a cup. Because it's too.
None of them are wearing a cup?
I just learned this. Cody taught me everything I know about football.
Shout out to Cody. Good work. I'm honestly amazed at how much. I was gonna say how much you've gotten right. I wouldn't know. Explain to me. They don't wear cups.
I think I've heard that they're cumbersome.
Because how do you get a cup to stay in place? Is that what a jockstrap is for?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And when my dad expressed to me that he wanted a son, I tried to get into football so that he would respect me like a son. But ultimately, I mostly cared about the costumes and
the colors.
I know a lot about what colors the teams are.
That's okay. So I'm gonna say a team name. You're gonna tell me their colors.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna say team names, and I'm gonna know a lot because I know about football. That's why I asked you to tell me about it, so I can fact check it.
Yes, and I'm gonna know.
Okay, so there's a team out there in the world, and they're the Chargers. What color are they?
Yellow, at least for the Lightning.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, and then how about the Ravens? Are they out there?
I want to say purple for those guys. Purple and black.
Okay. And then how about the Mississippi Clown Dogs?
Orange and blue. You're wearing their jersey.
I'm out here representing the Mississippi Clown Dogs. Recently, I have been having a rich fantasy life where I go to Mississippi and fall in love with it.
Oh.
And probably with a person.
Wait.
Right? Thank you for joining me in this fantasy life I'm having. It's hot. There are mosquitoes, but I have all my citronella candles. I have all my oregano sprays and things. I have a slamming screen door.
I think you would be an amazing swamp witch, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's sort of sidetrack.
So much has changed since the last time we talked. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now I'm a Mississippi swamp witch. What was I last week? Who knows?
Doesn't matter. You're a swamp witch now.
Okay.
Do you feel like I know football? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, is there anything else you need to add to your answer to the explanation of the rules of American football?
Flags. First down. Halftime show.
Okay.
National anthem.
Oh.
Not like a specific food, right? Sort of like baseball has like foods. Baseball has like foods, but football is sort of like anything goes, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like going to a baseball game is a much more accessible experience than going to a football game. I might be basing that solely off of my own lived experience of having never been to a football game, but having been to a baseball game.
I've been to both, and I would say, well, even just as someone who I thought I understood football basically one end to the other.
Good job.
Like, I thought that was it. But then as Cody sort of explained things to me, there's a lot going on, actually. I don't want to know.
No. Well, what I don't understand about football is all of it, other than what you just explained to me. And there's so much starting and stopping. I'm like, how do you get like into the vibe?
For
they just
15-minute quarters to last like 2 business days?
Absolutely bonko.
It's hard.
Okay.
Anyway.
I give that 5 stars.
Thank you.
You get an A.
Whoa. CJ?
Yeah.
This is major.
Huge. I can't wait to do an explanation.
To you, who did Stonehenge?
Okay, such a great question. So I've actually been to Stonehenge. I went to Stonehenge when I was 16 years old on a trip to England with my mother. I still famously travel quite a bit with my parents, even though I am an old hag. Now, on this trip to Stonehenge, well, to England, I wanted to go to Stonehenge because I'm a little freaky guy, and my mom's just like a very nice, normal lady. And so we went to Stonehenge as part of a bus trip, and the bus took us to other places, including Windsor Castle, the town of Bath, and Stonehenge. And by the time I got to Stonehenge, it was not the time when you could touch the rocks. Had I been able to touch the rocks, I could tell you definitively the origin of Stonehenge. I would just simply know it in my bones. However, based on the experiences I have had outside of being able to touch the rocks, I would tell you that Stonehenge was probably built by the Druids. And as we learned in the St. Patrick's Day episode, those are priests, pagan priests. So I would think that sort of like pagan priests and somebody supernatural built it. I would say that more than I would believe that aliens built it, because I kind of just like don't know what business they would have with it, as opposed to sort of druids, witches, elves, gnomes, fairies, who like it lines up with different aspects of the sun and the solstice and the setting and the rising of things. Also, speaking of Stonehenge, I just visited American Stonehenge for the first time. An incredible place in Salem, New Hampshire. And there, they also have a lot of different things set up to appease, or by appease, I mean to be able to observe the different positions of the sun. So my answer is Druids, comma, the sun.
I also think 5 stars.
Thank you.
2 follow-ups.
Yes.
What about Car Stonehenge, which I think is in Indiana? Probably just guys, right?
Probably just like some guys drinking a lot of beers, having a really good time. Or like, probably someone who could be my husband.
If you want that. I was going to say NASCAR witches. I don't know what it means.
Let's invent it.
And then also, have you watched Outlander?
I have not watched Outlander.
It seems so you.
Yeah.
Should we stop and actually you should go watch it?
Well, you know how I get about things that I'm afraid to like? Because when I like something, it's like it really becomes all consuming. Like when I first got into Riverdale, that was like a very, it really takes over, and it's like I'm in a fog of that thing. And so I do tend to avoid media that I know I will have a deep connection to, because I just can't handle it.
Okay, well, here's what I'll say. I don't think you'll be in that deep. I think the horniness will get you. And then
thank you.
And then the rest you'll sort of be like, well, I'll take it or leave it. And then once they travel to America, you'll be out. You'll just be out.
Got it. Okay. I'll put it on my to-do list.
But plot, Girly Pop is in Scotland, being wandering mysterious lady, touches a little Stonehenge vibe, time travel. Falls
maybe that's why they don't.
Style.
Well, maybe that's why they don't let you touch it anymore.
Because of that girl, Claire.
Because of, yeah, a girl named Claire probably touched it, and then that show became Truth in Plain Sight, and now I couldn't touch it.
But imagine, I think you'd have a beautiful story if you did touch it.
I think so too. And instead, I am this.
You're still a beautiful story. Okay, your turn again.
Okay, I'm excited. Okay, this time the tinfoil hat says, please explain the Donner Party.
Totally.
Yes.
So, We know Dasher. We know Dancer. Prancer. Vixen. Comet. Cupid. Donner. And Blitzen. Donner is the one who started the hate campaign against Rudolph. Jealousy. Rivalry. Was like, his nose sucks. Rudolph proved him wrong in the end. But a lot of elves joined the Donner Party because they wanted to stick with like the original arrangements, and everyone in the North Pole is afraid of change because there's not really a lot of change that happens in the North Pole. And ultimately, when Rudolph did save that Christmas, Donner came around, and
yeah,
everything.
I have just a. Okay, that was so good. I do have a couple of follow-up questions.
Yeah.
One, how did Rudolph end up with a red nose?
Totally. Thank you. North Pole, closest to...
No, go say it. Yeah, I'm following.
Closest to space.
Yeah. Yep.
Alien.
If you believe that the Earth is round.
Alien came in, touched accidentally, the genes went haywire. They learned their lesson right there. They said no more glowing noses. Our kinds can't touch. Aliens left. Easy trip home because closest to space.
Of course. Because, so in your mind, by the way, based on this model, Earth is round in this scenario?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Earth is round, and then space starts at the top of the Earth up here. And then, okay, I'm loving this visual. I need to draw it up.
Earth is sort of like a bath bomb.
Okay, and is space the water to you?
I have no idea.
But all we know, so Earth is round.
Yeah.
And space starts at the top of the Earth.
Well, because when you go up, space starts.
Right. Yeah.
North Pole, going up.
Got it. North is up.
Yeah, always.
Okay. Always.
On a compass, north is always pointing up.
Yeah. Okay. I have another question for you. Thank you for explaining that. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't have any follow-ups on that. So when I said the Donner Party, did you not think of the events that occurred when a traveling time was among us? People were moving west, and the Donner Party got stuck somewhere and ate each other. That didn't cross your mind at all.
Did it happen in Colorado and Georgetown, or are those other people who ate each other?
I can't be sure.
Didn't ring a bell.
That's so beautiful that your brain went Rudolph. Okay.
Well, here's the thing about me. Just some lore. Lore. Didn't pay attention in high school.
Okay.
Ditched class every second.
Badass. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
What were you doing instead? Reading about Christmas.
I was. My very first job was being an elf. Aside from like nannying, but yeah, my first real job with a W-2 was being a mall elf. Yeah. Does Mr. Donner have a first name? It's OSCAR.
It's OSCAR. Wow. Okay, so that was so exciting. I had no idea that was gonna be the answer that you came up with.
Well, yesterday I don't want to spoil anything, but yesterday when you texted me like examples of what you were writing down, I knew about a little bit of it, and I said, okay, this will be exciting.
Okay. All right, Smarty Pants, what do you have for me?
You're never gonna believe it.
I'm excited and scared. Yes.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
French toast. Pancake.
Yep.
Waffle.
Oh, wow. Okay, so ultimately I am going to say something controversial. Those are all almost exactly the same food. We know this. We live in that reality. to pick between the two as far as making a lifelong commitment, a night of pleasure, and one to get rid of forever is an interesting proposition to be faced with on this day. I would say I'm going to kill waffles. I'm going to fuck French toast. And I'm going to marry pancakes.
Dude, exactly same.
Yes. Okay.
5 stars.
Awesome. Thank you.
5
okay. Your
stars.
turn. Okay. Please explain the theory that Walt Disney's body is frozen.
Yes. And actually yes. So a starting point is really okay. So what I know, wait, let me, to you, full body frozen, just head.
I did write down head, but then when I was reading out loud, got nervous and said body. But I did write down the head of him.
Okay, there's proof. The proof is in the paper. To me, yeah, he did freeze his head. Everyone's trying to hide it. Everyone's trying to hide it. No, there's a whole society of those people. There's a whole business. There's a whole community of people who either have been cryogenically frozen or will be cryogenically frozen because they're convinced the science is there. If people are convinced the science is there, to me, the science is there. Probably people who have been cryogenically frozen have been brought back. It happened in X-Files.
And if it happened in X-Files, it happened in real life. X-Files is a documentary.
And actually, yeah. And actually, literally, yeah. So the theory is just that he got his head frozen to come back alive. I think that theory is true. I think he's probably going to be AI. You know, they'll have to put him on AI. Am I saying things that are going to stop me from ever being employed?
No, I think that you're making yourself really employable when you say things like they're going to put him on AI. And to me also, that just opens up a world in which I hadn't considered that like AI will become a prescription, you know?
Well, I think that
they prescribe me AI for that.
I think that they were
Say it. I can't wait.
Save
yourself.
I think that part of AI will be like using AI to use electrodes to reanimate people and use use empty vessels in combination with AI to bring people back. And also, like, I do think that the people are uploading like bugs consciousness to computers and it's working. And so I think, yeah. And so
a bug's consciousness?
Yeah.
Like an ant?
I think there was like a maybe a beetle is the article that I read. And so I think they're like testing that so that dead people can be uploaded into things and then become like a version of AI.
Whoa. Okay. So no. My tinfoil hat really does not want to stay on my head.
Well, we both made them the perfect size.
Yeah, and I wore the perfect hairstyle and headphones to go with it. Okay, that's huge.
And I just think that everyone's denying that happened, but I'm like, if there's fully a business where, and here's the thing, some people are not like, and don't quote me on this, don't quote me on anything I've ever said on this podcast ever. I'm pretty sure that some people are not dying before becoming cryogenically frozen. I think some people are being like, hey, so I'd rather try this than stay alive.
Right. See, and that makes more sense to me than to freeze your dead body.
Yes.
It makes more sense to me to make yourself be dead by being frozen, to come back and get cured of whatever it is. Speaking of getting cured of an illness in the future, I recently watched Contact, as you know.
Yeah.
And I just think that we need to bookmark that and say more on it. However, I would like to bring up the part in Contact where the guy moves himself to space because that way the cancer won't like crush his organs. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I have to live in space because it's curing my cancer. So that could be something else, that maybe Walt Disney isn't frozen. Maybe his head is floating around in space.
Could be. I also think that, I think we should do a plethora of Disney episodes, but I think there's probably some really freaky connections between like the undead and Disney, and you think of all of the people who bring like the ashes of their loved ones to spread at the parks, and like Pirates of the Caribbean used to have like actual skeletons in it, and I just would love to do a deep dive on that. Anyway,
yeah, like a haunted Disney would be cool, but they'll never let us do it, guys. Walt, let us in there.
Hey.
Because yeah, haunted Disney would be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Here I go.
I'm ready.
Do you think there's an Illuminati hierarchy? Who's at the top and who's at the bottom?
Really good question. Yes, I do. I think sort of Doja Cat's at the bottom, and Lil Nas X, and whoever recently has undergone some sort of humiliation ritual, the members of the society who are having to undergo their humiliation rituals are at the bottom. You have to go through the humiliation ritual in order to move your way up, of course. I think at the top there is a demon, perhaps a demon owl. You're familiar with the owl demon?
No.
Okay, well, don't ask me. Good thing that's not on there for me to explain because I wouldn't know how. But there's a demon owl that they say that like that's who people are worshiping.
Okay.
And so I think there's like somebody like that, some entity that is being served, and he's in charge. And then I think there's a bunch of like people who are regular rich people who are right underneath, like rich people who are just like rich, like the richest of the rich ever, who aren't necessarily celebrities, but I do think that then it's them. And then I think it would go like Beyonce. And then I think it would go everybody else in the middle. Everybody else in the middle being obviously celebrities and powerful people. Now, I do want to say that to me, the Illuminati is more celebrities, actors, performers than it is politicians.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I think that with Trump becoming president, those lines are getting like more and more muddied. And I do agree that Beyonce's at the top.
Yeah.
But then I wish I could remember. I read something about Jay-Z specifically and his connection with Epstein, and I was like, to me that solidifies that Beyonce is like Queen Demon, especially because why is she still married to him if she's a normal style person?
Yeah.
But and also follow-up question, do you think Taylor Swift is too boring to be part of the Illuminati?
So, oh God, that's so hard to say. I know that is a belief that you indulge in.
I think I just started considering it recently.
I mean, I have been seeing a lot on my algorithm, obviously comparing Taylor Swift to that one Satanist. They look so much alike, it's unreal.
You're gonna have to.
Her name is like Zahamana. It's something begins with a Z. She's the Satanist from the past, and she looks just like Taylor Swift. It's unbelievable. Now, then again, the videos that could be served could be AI prescribed. Totally. So we never know what to trust other than each other. But that's been more and more interesting to me the more I see it, that she is this Satanist. But I also think that she could just be, I mean, like, I think that there's something evil within her, obviously. No one has that much money and popularity and fame and power. She's so powerful.
Yeah.
Without being a little bit evil. But I think that she could ultimately just be like the queen of capitalism.
Well, yeah,
like she could just be like such a product of capitalism and like really making it work for her in a way that she isn't necessarily worshiping demons. But I think she's ignoring it. I think she knows it's happening.
Yes.
And she's not stopping it.
Yeah. I think without conspiracy and Illuminati, I just call them Illuminati because I get it. And I think that extreme wealth is the ultimate mental illness, aside from all of the conspiracy things happening in this moment in time. And I just, after watching, what's her name, Donna Kelsey on The Traitors, I was like, what a boring group of people. But then also, I know people are making jokes and memes about this, and everyone's like, Donna Kelsey's renovating her kitchen, TMZ exclusive. What are they trying to hide about Taylor? What are they trying to hide about Taylor by Donna Kelsey renovating her kitchen?
I love that.
This is just the way my mind. It's just, and I know that we're not supposed to spend our time and energy getting into the Epstein files, but it's just that everything I learn, I'm going into a psychosis because all of these things that I have joked about.
I know. Right? Exactly.
Anyway, so I think they're hiding something about Taylor.
Yeah, somebody somewhere. I mean, she's got skeletons in her closet of that, I am sure. I do think that like she leans a little more boring than awe-inspiring, in the same way that like Beyonce's power is. You know.
Yes. Well, because I don't have anything to say. Okay.
Right.
But Cowboy Carter as a whole made me so suspicious. To have nationalism, really? Yeah, to have nationalism happen right when we're attacking Gaza is so crazy. Whoa. It's so crazy. And also to have Solange speaking out about Gaza, Beyonce saying nothing, and being like, America, 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 America. It just, and I don't know if it's this way in all cities, but like, I mean, it's just, see, and this is the psychosis in which I speak, because everything is so connected. All of the iPhone ads right now in Chicago are like selfies of people at Cowboy Carter concerts, and I'm like, okay, so Apple, like, it's not saying Cowboy Carter, but it's all these people in like disco cowboy outfits. Right. And so I'm like, so Apple is putting out a message that we're gonna, I don't know. I know that I'm saying nothing, but hopefully I'm saying everything.
But the patterns will become clear to those who are meant to understand them.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Amen.
Sorry.
Anyway, no, since you did such a good job explaining that, I have something else for you to do.
Thank you.
Please explain to me the 10 Commandments.
Totally, yes.
Oh, you got this one?
No. Here's what I know. First of all, heavy stones. 10 of them.
Okay.
Moses.
Up to you.
Who split that Red Sea? And did he have to walk through it with the commandments in his hands?
Depends on the order of events.
I did a lot of church. But we never like studied the Bible.
Amazing.
But it's because I was going to Democrat church, you know.
Yeah, I do.
So, first of all, I want to say thou shalt not steal unless it's from big corporations. I want to say thou shalt not sleep with your neighbor's wife. Covet? Exactly. Is it just covet?
Yeah. It's covet, but through coveting would come sleeping together.
That.
My nose is crazy. Yeah, I'm mad about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, don't sleep with I won't sleep with my neighbor's wife, and my neighbor better not sleep with mine.
For freaking real. No coveting, no stealing, no. You have to take a bath.
Okay.
Stay clean. Hygiene is key.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't lie, for sure.
For sure.
Unless it's like fun gossip. But that you shouldn't lie about gossip. You can enhance the truth. Mm-hmm. Eat your vegetables.
Absolutely.
Still have a little treat. What's bad? Like, be a little quiet in the morning and late at night to respect your neighbors.
Yep. Yes. Absolutely.
3 more. Okay. I'm trying to think of like the 7 deadly sins because there's got to be some crossover. Don't take more than you need.
Boom.
It's sort of like, it's in a whole other commandment, but it's piggybacking off of that one. Share.
Okay. So it's like, that one's like, what? How many fingers am I holding up? That's like 8.5.
It's like 8.5, but it is 9. Because I cannot fill 2 more. And 10, the biggest one, is please, you have to go outside. Please. Even though I think when Moses was alive, almost all they had was being outside.
This is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Oh my god. Okay, so all of those, amazing. Do I think by following those we could be a really productive, happy, healthy society and community? Absolutely. Do I think that you skipped thou shalt not kill?
Shoot! That's a big one. But I think I said, like, be nice.
Right, and to kill is not
That's
nice.
Mean?
That is so mean.
That's so mean if you kill someone.
So I'm gonna say 5 out of 5. You nailed it.
Thanks. Thank you.
I think also, I do think in reality, one of them is don't take the Lord's name in vain.
Dude, I do
Isn't
think
that
so.
Crazy?
I do think so. True, yeah. And they better not mean my girl, Lord, because I love that song.
I looked up a list of popular conspiracy theories, and there was a Cosmopolitan article about them, about like fun pop culture ones.
Amazing.
And unfortunately, I did read some of them and go, duh. And then other ones I was like, huh. So one of them that I liked that was on this list was the theory that Lord is old. I was like, that's just mean.
Hey, ever consider this? Lord's old as fuck.
She's an old lady and she's pretending to be young. Like, ouch, mean. Rude.
Do you remember when she did Dino Arms on Ellen? She was telling us she's ancient. She was with the dinosaurs.
I think she was. You're so right for that.
Royals.
Oh, yeah.
Royals.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited. How come school was never this fun?
That's why I ditched all the time. Hey.
Why
did the Titanic really happen?
Okay, I actually, okay. It has to do with banks. Okay, so there are banks in the world, and at this time they were fighting, and they wanted to kill all these people because they wanted to change banking. They wanted to make banks be different than they were, so they had to kill all the people who knew the way that banks were before. And so they put all the rich people, including the Astors and some other old bank people, onto the Titanic, crashed that thing, and then was like, oh, and now the banks have always been like this. And people were like, the banks have always been like this? And everyone was like, yep, and you can't ask anyone because the Astors and all the other bank people are dead now. By the way, I would like to take this time to sing a song that I sang in elementary school chorus that went like this. Hold on, I always forget how it begins. I'm just gonna start with the part I remember. Mrs. Astor turned around just to see her husband drown as the great Titanic gave a gurgling sound. So she wrapped herself in mink as the boat began to sink. Oh, it was sad when the great ship went down. Oh, it was sad, so sad. Oh, it was sad, too bad. Oh, it was sad when the great ship went down to the bottom of the sea. Husbands and wives, itty bitty children lost their lives. Oh, it was sad when the great ship went down. So it either had to do with the banks, or so that that song could be written and taught in elementary schools across this great country of the United States of America.
And to that I say, why not both?
Why not both? Isn't that a truly insane song?
Yeah. More insane than the theory of why the Titanic really happened.
To change the banks.
And you know what's so amazing is when I wrote that down, I was like, I don't know a single conspiracy theory about the Titanic.
Yeah.
I love my friend's brain.
Thank you. Do you like how much of that theory I remembered? I was like, the banks were fighting and they had to kill the bankers. And also, by the way, when my ex-boyfriend listens to this podcast, and he will, he'll tell me that that is not what he told me. If he's not, then that's not a world in which I choose to live. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So in my fantasy world, yes, where I'm also a swamp witch in Mississippi, my ex-boyfriend is listening to my podcast.
Totally.
Just.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Look at the world we're living in.
Because we control our own reality. And yet. Anyway. So that's how I understand that concept to have unfolded in history.
It makes perfect sense.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I want. Okay. Did J.P. Morgan build the boat? Because he's like king of new banks. Well, dead.
And then also like there's a theory that like the Titanic was a different boat than the one that sank.
Yes.
Yeah, that they like had built this great big boat, and then they were like, we're gonna call this other old boat the Titanic, and then we're gonna sink it. And also could have something to do with insurance.
Well, and also I keep thinking when I'm driving around Gold Coast, and I'm like, but this would be a poor people taking their power back thing. I'm like, what? Well, when the Air and Water show happens, okay, I'm so sorry. I keep going down the crazy wormholes. When the Air and Water show happens, I'm like, this is the perfect cover for a T attack, and it freaks me out. But it's always like the bulk of it happens on Gold Coast, where all of the richest people live. And I would say, like, probably some of the richest people in America. You think? Like, I don't think it's all New York and LA.
I think the richest people of America live, like, in Montana with bunkers underground, but we don't talk about them.
I also think some of the richest people live in Europe. So,
true.
The richest people in America live in Europe.
I'm in.
But I'm like, or I don't know. I'm just like, if something happened here, what would it do to the economy? The same thing is like, there was a big country concert at Soldier Field a couple years ago, and I was like, if a bomb hit Soldier Field, like, what would happen? Because this specific group of people were there. Anyway, and so I think that the Titanic being a targeted attack makes just so much sense because of the demographic. Anyway, that's all.
Exactly. Okay.
Cancel the Air and Water show.
Seriously. And while you're at it, please explain the California Gold Rush.
The Gold Rush started in Colorado.
And you get no credit.
We never get any credit. California Gold Rush, people were totally mining. Have you ever panned for gold in a river?
No. But when I live in Mississippi, I'll do that every day.
It's so much fun. My brain is broken because of what's happening in America. No, like, truly, just because I say one thing and then it just, like, sprouts and
yeah.
The gold rush in California. People were finding gold in California, mining for it, panning for it. Prospectors, of course.
Of course.
Little shacks.
Yes. Absolutely.
Wagons on tracks, going all around up and down the mountains, mining and finding gold, like a rock, finding gold in the water, collecting it. Gold rush in California.
I only ever want things to be explained to me by you. And my favorite part about it is that you just, like, sort of, like, name what's coming to mind. You know?
I'm painting a picture.
Like, yeah. Finding gold in rock form. That was my favorite part. I also liked the part where you didn't talk about, like, people moving out there to do that.
Totally. They did. They had to.
But on the wagons.
What an amazing job to have. To be having gold. Put it in your teeth once you're there. Get it in a tiny bottle that has your name on the front. Floats
stunning.
in a baby oil, a little flake. I don't want nothing to do with that one.
Okay.
Later, maybe. I think we have to be, like, in the heat of the moment.
Totally.
Who killed Princess Diana?
Okay, somebody.
Totally. And you believe that she was killed?
There is no world in which I believe that Princess Diana died in a car accident by accident. There was no car accident. Vehicular homicide, perhaps.
Yeah.
And I think it had something to do... Well, I mean, ultimately, who do I think was behind it? I think it was the Queen. Yeah, okay, sorry, everybody. I think that it was, like, the royal family and the powers that be. I think that... You know, So there's two ideas that I could hitch my wagon to. Mm-hmm. One is, again, like, okay, so I'm gonna call one like the Beyonce and one the Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. And the Taylor Swift one would be like, royal family and society mad because she cool lady have hot new boyfriend who is Muslim? Can't have that. No. You're making us look bad, so you have to be dead. Then there's like the Beyonce idea, which would be like, she knew secrets and that it was a threat to them because she was moving further out of their control and therefore could reveal more about like the children that they eat. Mm-hmm. And that they're lizard people. Mm-hmm. And I think either of those could be true. What I definitely don't think is true is that she died in a car accident. Mm-hmm. I do think that like paparazzi and paparazzi culture is like a huge threat to especially famous people, mm-hmm. Famous ladies. So sure, that was a great cover. That was like a really, really good cover. And ultimately that led to no change in anything. Paparazzi are still out there being terrors and menaces, mm-hmm. but maybe less. I don't know. I just don't pay attention to that side of the world anymore. And now there is less of a need for there's never been a need for paparazzi. Truly. As far as like a hierarchy of needs goes, but there's less paparazzi behavior or action, I think, because we can just all film whatever we want, whenever we want. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And find celebrities because they're like, I'm at Tao, and you're like, well, me too now.
And I would like my final question to be, have you seen Diana starring Kristen Stewart?
I have not, but I would like to. I've seen the clip, the scene where she's like walking down the hallway and she has pearls on, mm-hmm. and she's doing a lot of this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've seen that. Mm-hmm. That's the most I think that part. The casting of Kristen Stewart in most roles is brave. I think that when she serves it up, and when she's bringing it from the microwave, it's cold in the center.
You just blew me away, man.
You know? I'm sort of a poet. So, all of that's to say, sometimes she does a really good job and sometimes she does things that make me go,
yeah. I love her. She can do no wrong, but I'm like, girl. So, girl.
Yeah. But I don't think that she killed Princess Diana.
God, no. God, no.
I would say I don't think Kristen Stewart has killed anyone.
No.
Or partaken in like the sacrificial.
I think she's too much of a risk.
I think also Robert Pattinson has not partaken in any of the Hollywood evils.
I also agree that I think that those are two earnest people, and at the first sight of something that bad, they'd be like, you guys know what's going on in there?
Yeah, they'd be like,
yeah.
And they'd be out. That's them leaving the room.
CJ sort of cartooning. And, do with that what you will, audio listeners. Yeah. Bleak.
Okay.
Anyway, People's Princess. What a threat.
I've so been hoping to pull this one because I cannot wait to hear your mind.
Because I've been blowing it up so far. Blowing it up.
Well, I was gonna say, especially based on how you've been explaining things, that's not gonna work for this as far as I know, but I can't wait for you to surprise me.
I'm nervous.
Please explain to us here in the room and viewers and listeners at home the Pythagorean theorem.
I do know this, I think.
Okay.
So embarrassed if I don't know it at all. Triangles.
Yes! 5 stars.
All the corners?
Mm-hmm.
180.
Sure.
90? No, that's... Well, yeah.
90 is like corners, this, and then...
All the corners, 180.
Yeah.
Make. Thank you, Pythagoras. Thanks. Now we know triangle math.
It was just super useful.
Now I'll know that inside of every triangle contains 180. Thank you.
180, yeah. And so if you sort of had to explain, like, what do you think the math looks like to solve
B
for that?
Plus C equals 180. Perfect. If A plus B equals, what is C? to create 180.
Exactly. Yeah.
Am I doing it?
I don't know. To me,
I liked geometry the most.
Oh.
It made sense. I could draw shapes. I could see it, you know? Other math is just numbers floating around in space. Some would say the universal language. Really the hill we're dying on with this pod. But geometry was like, here it is. Here's proof.
Right. It was like, you can look at it, see it.
Yeah.
Which I think is like what people... Okay, I have something else to say, if you can believe it.
Please.
So math, the universal language, geometry, you can see it, you can prove it. What do you think physicists do? And is physicism any different than what we do on this podcast, where we look at patterns and we look at things and go, it could be this?
No. We're physicists.
We're physicists.
Because also, think of this. Those old guys?
Yeah.
What did they have? Just like audacity and paper.
Are you thinking of philosophers?
No.
Oh, good.
Also them. Philosophers are physicists.
But
I just think
psychics.
I think that I think that quantum physics and philosophy are the same.
Yeah.
And math is the universal language. And I think, yeah, that's what I think. I was really thinking of a physicist the other day.
The only physicists I think about are the ones that are fictional on The Big Bang Theory. I watch a lot of The Big Bang Theory in this house.
That's brave and beautiful.
And for a while I wouldn't have been brave enough to admit that, but I'm embracing myself and all my faults and all of my highs. What's the opposite of a fault?
Strength.
I'm embracing all aspects of myself, and part of that means admitting that I watched The Big Bang Theory.
I think that's beautiful. Part of this podcast for me, as demonstrated by every answer I've given so far, is climbing cringe mountain so that I can be free.
Yeah. Well, we just talked about this off pod about Rachel Sennett's interview where she was like, I don't know what she said, so I went, ew, and swiped away.
What are those called? Beta blockers. What's the key to being calm on a red carpet and like keeping your poise? Beta blockers. Go die. In theory. In Big Bang Theory. Yeah. Go take a break, mental reset, do a big mushroom trip. Die. Right. Watch let your ego die.
Kill your ego. Yeah, and then wasn't she also like the coolest thing that you can be, like that you can do is like not care?
Yeah.
Or like be apathetic. That is the most boring thing I've ever heard in my entire
life. Also, opposite.
It is so much. Yeah. It's so much more fun to talk to someone who is interesting and interested and vibrant than it is to talk to someone who's like
passionate about something that I don't care about at all. I will take over an apathetic person any day. Because at least you have a beating heart in there.
Right.
At least you have some
You're not an
joie
NPC.
de vivre. I don't remember how to speak French. I only took 1 year.
I think you did it.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
Was that me or you? That was you. Thank you for keeping track, because I just am over here. I'm just over here. Pythagorean theorem.
By the way I spelled that, absolutely insane. So glad spelling doesn't count.
Explain why they don't want Pluto to be a planet.
So Pluto was a planet, and he is tiny, and he's small, and he's blue, and he's sad. And so the thought was that perhaps should they make him even sadder by taking away his planet status, that the suffering that was happening in the cosmos would eke its way unto the American people and cause more suffering in order to feed the aliens that feed upon human suffering. So that's one answer. Another answer would be that Pluto just like couldn't do it. He actually self-annexed. He was the one. He also Pluto boy planet. Totally. Now I sort of would like to go through and say what all the planets are. Thank you so much. So Pluto is a boy.
Okay.
Uranus, girl. Also, do you say Uranus? I always say Uranus.
I don't
Uranus,
think I say it
girl.
because I get nervous.
Oh. I'm living in my bold truth, and that means saying
I'm
Uranus,
gonna start saying
Uranus out loud.
Uranus.
I think it is Uranus, but that's boring. Girl. Venus, girl. Saturn, boy. Mars, boy. What other planets are there?
Mercury.
Mercury, girl.
Mars.
Boy.
Earth. Okay, wait.
Earth doesn't exist.
No. Jupiter.
Jupiter, girl.
Interesting.
Sun, girl. Moon, boy. You know. And
We are so different.
You think moon, girl?
Moon girl, sun boy. Mars boy. Mercury. Non-binary.
I forgot about the third
You
option.
forgot about those guys.
I did. I'm sorry, you guys.
Venus girl, duh. Saturn girl.
Duh.
Neptune boy.
Neptune didn't even make my list.
Neptune, but here's the thing: Greek gods are seeping into my brain.
Right. So that they're swaying you.
They're swaying me. But yeah. Saturn rings. That's glam. That's girly.
Glam.
Pop.
That's true.
Uranus.
To me,
boy, sorry.
Saturn is like the number 8 and is a jock and is blue. You know what I mean? Like those are all the same thing to me.
I do understand.
And it's Thursday.
Okay, can I say something? It makes more sense for Saturn. No, it makes more sense to me that the number 8 is jock than Saturn is boy.
Got it.
And I don't feel blue. I do feel more green about Saturn. But that's beautiful.
Yeah. So I think Pluto kind of went, yikes. And he said, I'm out.
Yeah.
Pass it on. He said, like a bit of a game of telephone.
Totally.
Alternatively, I think none of the planets are real and none of them have ever existed, and neither do we.
That's beautiful.
Okay. I only have a few left. This is exciting.
Don't worry, I have 5,000.
I'm so glad.
Ooh.
I don't want to do that one yet. Okay. Oh, this one will be interesting to hear what you think. Okay, please explain to me the evils of root canals.
Oh, well, first of all, dentist evil.
Right.
Ever seen Little Shop of Horrors? That's where all dentists came from. Also, I know teeth are important. We eat with them. Plaque causes Alzheimer's, whatever. Your teeth are so close to your brain, you could die if you do bad tooth stuff.
Absolutely.
Root canal. They're trying to take your good stuff out. They're going into where brain juices seep, the good brain juices that come out of your mouth and make good words.
Yeah, absolutely, as we see.
And so national ban on root canal, stop taking our good thoughts out.
Okay. Absolutely, 100%.
Here, let me follow that up by saying wisdom teeth.
Oh, exactly.
So.
And that's
you're taking my wisdom, and then you're not even gonna let me take it home. You're
what is with that?
My wisdom.
You should be able. Everything that they take out of your body, you should be able to keep.
I agree, and my dream also is if I shall ever take a lover who's permanent toward me, I want their teeth as jewelry.
Yeah, I would totally do that.
I really want to listen to the ring of my lover.
Yeah, I would also go as far as to do even crazier should I ever take a lover who is permanent towards me. And I would do the thing where you take a semen sample or a breast milk sample, but they'd have to have a baby. And you send it to a lady who turns it into a little stone for you to wear. I would do that. And that might be why I don't have a lover who's permanent towards me.
I'm just like, and we don't have to leave this in.
Leave it.
When I see those videos, I say, "Who is this for?"
And it's for me.
It's for my friend.
And unfortunately, I go, "Oh." Like, what do you mean? Or, I'm sorry, I'll be normal style and I'll say I would wear like a locket with their hair in it.
No,
that's better.
Here's the thing. I get it.
Right.
I don't think I would be
commitment.
brave enough to do. Well, also, I'm like, when I love someone, it's like so carnal, and I'm like, let me, if you like, I'm gonna keep your toenails in a jar. I want to be under your skin.
Yeah.
Which is freaky, sure. But just know you're not alone. I mean, there's a business, clearly. You're not alone. Right,
exactly. It wasn't my idea.
Bingo, bango. Wow.
Bingo, bango. It is something I would do.
That's beautiful. I want like my lover's saliva in a vial around my neck. I do.
Or their blood.
Blood is kinky. Blood is kinky.
Blood is kinky.
This one's a little bit fun. Okay. If the earth isn't round and if the earth isn't flat, what shape would you want it to be?
Ooh, fun. Okay, so if the earth isn't round or flat, I want it to be like oobleck. And I want it to like sometimes be solid and sometimes be liquid. And I want it to be like you try to hold it in your hands and then it falls right through. But when you smack it, it's like it's sturdy. And so that's what I would like. I'd like it to be oobleck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, would you please tell me how animals were domesticated?
Oh, I hate to know. I get scared of things like this. But I also, like, what happened between panthers and cats?
Yeah.
Witches forever.
Got it.
Cats new.
Yeah.
Cats during cavemen, saber-toothed tiger.
Right.
People now, cats now. People then, big beast. Take big beast, want it to be cuter? Just prey on it, get smaller, less claws, less fangs. Dogs. Huskies. Science in the sky.
In the sky? There's science in the sky.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Here, you know, the Whoville of it all. If I have said of it all in every podcast so many times. In every podcast in human history. There's a clip of me saying of it all. Okay. Here's the thing about the world falling apart in front of your eyes and having done mushrooms a number of times. The possibilities are endless.
Yes.
Scientists, they're saying this is a simulation. I'm saying, great, who's simulating it?
Right.
We have timelines so many years, too many years to keep straight. Yeah. Learning facts about dinosaurs right now, like, stegosauruses were alive for 7 trillion years before a T-Rex even came to be. What do you mean they weren't like brothers for and dinosaurs lasted 80 years max? 80 years is so long.
Yeah, but it was like millions of years. A T-Rex wasn't even alive at the same time as other dinosaurs. Like, what do you mean? They were all next door neighbors on Pangea.
Yeah. And so then we're like, okay, evolution takes millions and millions of years. But then you're telling me caveman people have saber-toothed tigers. Us people have tiny little fat egg. How? So to me,
yes,
a possibility. I'm not saying this happened, but they just gave it to us.
The aliens or the simulators?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is also just like, well, maybe evolution isn't real, and maybe God said, here, have a kitty cat.
It's like, maybe? I made men so horrible, do you want this cuddly guy? It's also, they're playing Animal Crossing, they're going back to the settings, they're skipping a week so that they can see their house be built.
Right. Right, exactly.
All I can say is I'll never find a lover who's permanent to me after this episode drops.
No, I think the opposite. because that's the reality I'm choosing.
I'm just like, I'm sure
Quantum
some
physics.
scholar could sit down and tell me how it goes. And
right.
But then I'm also like, these creepy little breeders who are taking sperm samples from dogs and making new
and putting
dogs
it in a necklace
and wearing it in a necklace. What's up with that?
Yeah. It is like we do have enough types of dog.
I was watching the dog show, the Westminster Dog Show, which, by the way, some really beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Woo! First of all, some dogs I've never seen before. And I'm like, is that a new release? Like, is this... It's so crazy to see a dog you've never seen before, because also, weren't we all in elementary school addicted to knowing the breeds of dogs?
I was.
I checked out a book from the library every single week. It was the same book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just called Dogs. And it had pictures of dogs with the breed underneath. And I would just like, yes. Yep. Anyway, so to be having new dogs right now is crazy. And how do you
think? On top of everything else, new dogs?
What do you think about domestication of those guys?
I think that they took the two smallest ones and said, you guys have babies. And then they took the two smallest of those and said, you guys have babies. But then how is everything not inbred? They had to take that small thing with them and walk to a different cave and then find the other two smallest ones and go, you guys make one. And then they just did that until they got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Or did they
But actually, I'm sorry.
No.
Have you ever considered that a wild cat, like a panther or a lion or tiger, their eyes completely and 100% different than cat eyes, which resemble more closely to lizard eyes. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, I look into my cat's eyes often, and I'm sort of like, what a pupil.
What's in there? Yeah. So I think that when it comes to cats, I think that they're a separate thing. When it comes to dog, I think they could have come from a wolf, except for those dogs that have human eyes. What's up with them?
Well, those are people who had done horrible things and have to come back and live in the house of crazy white women. Always. Always.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the moon to you?
Okay, the moon to me is, first of all, to be completely honest, to me the moon, to be completely honest, the moon is luminous, as in it creates its own light. I do not believe that it has anything to do with the reflection of the sun or anything thereof that has been previously said. I think that the sun and the moon are good friends. I think that the moon goes, bye-bye sun, night-night, and then it goes, and then it shines. And then sometimes it's naughty, sometimes it's naughty, and stays out during the day. And then he goes, if you can see me, how come? And I go, don't understand a lick of science behind it. So I think moon is shiny friend, although a little naughty. I think moon a little mischievous.
Yeah.
I think moon like to sort of go, what if when I am big, I make everybody go crazy? And then he goes, maybe moon is girl. I said earlier that moon was boy, but I'm like, well, with the periods of it all, moon is girl and moon is naughty friend.
One sun is like, ah! And moon's like coquettish and mischievous.
Yeah, she's like, you're crazy. But do you think that they're in love?
No.
Really?
To me.
Do you think the moon is a lesbian?
I'm jealous. Moon is wife.
You're in love with the moon.
And moon is already so controlling of my other wife, Lake Michigan.
The lake?
Yeah.
I was in love with the moon for a long time. I have recently moved on to being in love with the sun because the moon made me crazy and really let me down.
Oh.
So.
I'm holding that.
Thank you for making space for my anger at the moon. Well, not anger, but just resigned disappointment.
I think you're creating boundaries now.
Yeah. So, she's my friend I keep at arm's length.
Totally. I like that.
Thank you.
Think the moon is not luminous, but I love to know that you do. And every time I look at it, I'm like, CJ thinks that that's light up.
I think she's like a little bit of a flashlight. Yeah. It's like, she's like, what are you guys doing down there? And sometimes she wants to know everything.
You
so
think
she's
that's
a full
surveillance state?
In a fun way, though.
State? Okay. Oh, I get so scared. I get so scared when the planets get political.
They're always doing that. Okay, so I have literally 2 more.
Okay. Should I open all of mine and like pick the best too?
Sure.
The best guys.
I can't believe you made so many. You're so successful.
I was just like, CJ's gonna have dope ones, and I'm doing my other job and having brain lapses. Okay.
Boo. Okay. How do you make an ambrosia salad?
I know this.
Really?
Yeah. Because I have so much family from North Dakota, and that's the only salad they have there.
What?
There's like not vegetables. Well, I haven't been since I was like 12, but there aren't vegetables in North Dakota.
That's sad.
You go to a salad bar,
and by design,
canned green beans, canned corn. That's it.
Ugh. Woof.
A fresh fruit or vegetable? Not on my watch. Well, their watch. If I had I would only. So,
exactly.
Ambrosia salad. You're going to want to make a 9x13 tray of green Jell-O. You're going to want to cut them into 1-inch cubes, all right? You're going to put that in a bowl. On top of the bowl, you're going to add a full container of Cool Whip. You're going to add a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. You're going to add a cup of shredded coconut sweetened. And then you can either do just canned cherries or a full like double can, like 24 ounces, juice drained of fruit cocktail. And then you're just going to stir it up and serve it.
So what does the mayonnaise... How did she get invited to the party?
She always is. And I'm wondering if that's maybe like what makes it... Oh, marshmallows.
I was going to say, are there tiny marshmallows?
Pink.
Beautiful. Have you supped upon this meal?
Yeah.
Is it awful?
No, it's really good. I'll make you some.
I'm amazed.
It's really good. Ice cold in the summer in North Dakota where everything sucks.
Yeah.
And you're like just eating Jell-O and cream. Because you don't really taste the mayo. It gives it like, like a salty... When all you have... Yeah. When all you have is canned goods.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
You make ambrosia salad.
Midwest cuisine is sort of top notch, and people are making you think it's disgusting, but why do you think we're all so fat? It's because it's delicious.
Corn-fed.
Corn-fed. Thank you for that question.
Hey, thank you for answering it. That was good.
Should we just play this game for 100 years?
I would literally love to. Because again, I love a conversation where I know exactly what we're going to be talking about and there's a clear back and forth.
My turn, and I'll say...
I
did that. I personally think the Bible is weird.
Okay.
And I think that because religion was kind of like the only pop culture they had, I think, like religion and food, that Bible, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Bible was it for them.
Right.
And I think that because of the things that are put in the Bible, people didn't have the words to explain what was happening. And so in a way, I believe that the angels that came down are aliens.
Cool. Okay. I agree that the Bible was it. Like, it was the pop culture of the moment. I think before the Bible, the pop culture that they had was Greek gods. Now, I am kind of more... The thing I find compelling about Greek gods is that, like, they were talking about these things as they were happening, ? Unclear. Similarly in the Bible, it's kind of like they're like, and then Moses came down with the tablets, and it's like, last week? Like, when? When did you write this down, and when did it happen, and when did it become important? Because what? Which is also how I felt about Greek mythology when it was like, and then Zeus turned into a swan and got your neighbor pregnant. And it was like, my neighbor? Did he covet my neighbor's wife? Like, is that me?
And is that why they wrote the tablets?
And is that how the tablets came? And so it's all combined, but it is all they had, right? So like all they had was Zeus, all they had was the Bible, and then Shakespeare was like, well, let me add a third thing, and it's whatever crazy ideas I come up with. So I think that it's kind of like the only thing that you could do, and the reason that people learned to read was to read the Bible, and presumably probably that's why people learned to write. I think storytelling is the root of connection, and therefore someone learned to manipulate that and turned it into religion. And not a fun one like the Greek gods, which is all kind of crazy, kooky fun, and much more concrete, right? So, like, you're going to go into battle. Well, buddy, before you go, you better stop by Artemis's statue and leave her a thing. Or Artemis is not. Artemis is an archer, but the god of war is Mars / Ares. So you'd leave them a little something. You'd leave Artemis a little something. You know, your husband's mad at you. You go visit Aphrodite. Like, you do these things, and it's all like very concrete. Versus the Bible, no wonder that like priests and stuff started to be a thing where you had to go ask a guy about it because it didn't make any sense on its own.
Yeah.
What do you mean the bush was on fire? Do you mean it literally, or is it a metaphor?
Well, and then religion was just, this is a question, but it's a statement. Religion was just created to control people by like confusing them and creating rules and things that you have to adhere to, otherwise you're big bad. And we can't really clarify, because if we clarified, then we wouldn't be able to control you as well.
Right. And then, because then I'm wondering, so I know obviously like, within Greek mythology and Greek, which is so funny that we call it Greek mythology as opposed to like Greek religion, because it is what they believed. And it is funny that like there are obviously like practitioners who observe the rules of Greek mythology and stuff like that, but there's not like, you don't like go to the Acropolis every Sunday to worship the Greek gods when you still do that for like Catholic stuff. You know what I mean? That like there is no modern equivalent of observing the Greek gods the way that there is a modern equivalent of all the other religions that have always existed and whatever else. So that makes me think that the Greek one is the right one.
Sometimes. Well, because I think that one's the most related to like, I think it's the most related to astrology, which is the most related to like witchcraft and Wicca.
Right.
And those are the religions that are looked down upon. And also I think like whatever white person decided to start teaching about the Greek gods was like, let's call it mythology and not religion, so that people can't treat it as such.
Oh my gosh, right? I just thought of another question to ask you.
Hit me.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend I pulled it out of my hat. Ah! If I said to you it's called spelling for a reason, what would that mean to you?
That words and letters hold so much power.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I said that to someone else recently, and they thought that I should be institutionalized.
I would never.
Not literally, but
I would never think that.
Never.
This means again nothing and everything. I have, like you, in sort of saying Saturn is 8 jock blue. Me saying yesterday off pod, unfortunately, Anna Garcia is a kazoo. We have this amazing type of synesthesia. I like the spelling Grey. If you make me spell it Gray, I want to kill myself.
Got it.
Favorite needs a U. But then does that make me a colonizer?
Or how did we decide to drop it? You know? So, okay, spelling, words have power. Spelling is because it's magic. Got it. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on that page.
Always.
Okay.
Okay, final question, and it's gonna be good.
Okay.
And it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Could you please explain all of the elements of soaking?
Yes. Okay. So soaking occurs when you are a person who has been subjected to Mormonism. You can be subjected to Mormonism by birth, or by your parents suddenly going crazy, or by yourself suddenly going crazy. So Mormonism says sex is bad and you may not do it unless you are married. And then also you have to, maybe sometimes people think that they did it through a sheet, but that's also what people thought of Orthodox Jews. But I do not believe that to be true of either case. I don't believe, in my opinion, that there's any religion that makes you have sex through a sheet. Now, Lou?
I think Puritans cut a hole in a sheet.
That's what people thought of Orthodox Jews as well, though.
Interesting. Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Okay, so perhaps the Puritans, but not the Mormons, and you can have sex regular style once you are married, but you're not supposed to have sex before you're married. However, Mormons found a loophole for this, wherein it is called soaking. So, under the rules of Mormonism, it is believed that sex only counts so long as there is friction or thrusting. The act of insertion is not what makes it sex. Therefore, to soak, there are two people, and one of them has a penis, and the other one has an opening that you can put a penis into, such as a mouth, a butthole, or a vagina. And the penis is inserted into the orifice, usually a vagina, I believe, and then you are allowed to sit there with it in.
Beautiful. And I think that there's some crazy name, but that there's people who you make your friends come over and they jump on the bed.
Yes. There is a crazy name for it. I am not aware of what it is in this current moment, but I know that it exists and that it happens. It's like, have you seen the people with the tiny microphones on the what's it called, campus? Brigham Young University?
Yeah, between that and The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I've learned about Mormon sex. And I just also want to say that, like, that's brave. I don't think I could have a close personal friend jump on a bed
while the penis is in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't think I could jump on the bed of a close personal friend.
Yeah. Another popular way to do it is on bunk beds, to have the person below you kick your bunk from below.
And that
could you do that?
Like top tier pleasure. Nope.
It is kind of like chill out. Like, what you yelling for? Laid back. It's all been done before. What is up with that? Okay, it's time for my last question. And I'm really excited this one ended up being last because, like, you also, like, you just kept kind of, like, bringing these guys up.
Yeah.
Like, they were on the top of your mind. So, Lou, I'm so happy to close out this game of explanations from a tinfoil hat. What happened to the dinosaurs?
Totally. I think. Well, okay. So we have to bring in Pangea. We have to sort of talk about Pangea.
Yeah.
I know dinosaurs.
You know them?
The evolution that makes the most sense to me: monkeys to humans, dinosaurs to birds.
Yes.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs, Colorado. Do you love it? I can't speak in full sentences when you ask me questions. Bullet points. Dinosaurs, Colorado. Dinosaur Ridge. Drove through Dinosaur Ridge on my way to ballet. Okay, so always going through Dinosaur Ridge. Skeletons. You're in Skeleton Nation. State Dinosaur, that's so Colorado, cool. Stegosaurus.
Wow.
I loved those guys. I mostly love herbivores. I love The Land Before Time.
Yeah.
I saw the film Dinosaur, which taught me that it was a meteor.
Mm-hmm.
But in the timeline of Pangea, did it really get every last one because it was Pangea? Or did the simulators forget to feed their Tamagotchi? Ugh. So dinosaurs died that way. Could also, there's so many options. Meteor killed so many of them, the rest of them got lonely, died of heartbreak.
Oh, that one really made me sad.
Well,
Yeah.
Dinosaur is one of the saddest movies I've ever watched in my life.
Have you ever seen The Good Dinosaur?
No, because I was afraid it would be like Dinosaur. I love dinosaurs so much that when we add human characteristics onto them, I'm a wreck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. So all of this is to say that you don't believe that God put dinosaurs' bones in the ground to trick us and to test us away from his love?
For me, that's not one of my personal beliefs.
Me either.
But as always,
I love that people think that, though.
It's amazing that people think that. It's amazing that people think that, especially because I'm an open-minded bitch.
Right.
And I'm like, you think that? Of all the things to think.
Yeah. I would be more inclined to think that, like, the government made up dinosaurs. Like, haha, funny. Than God.
Mm-hmm. That's actually, and I'm just going to say this so everyone goes over to our Patreon. That's a really good lead into one of the questions I have left.
I can't wait. I'm going to take off my tinfoil hat. I'm going to put it to bed until next time.
Until next time.
Is there anything really exciting that you learned today?
I mean, everything.
That's true.
The Titanic really stands out. I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of the California Gold Rush.
Yeah, I'm glad we unpacked that. I liked learning the rules of football, and my favorite part was that it started with 2 teams, 1 ball.
That's if you don't have that, you can't play.
That's so true.
Sometimes I like it better when there's flags.
A little safer.
And consider this, shirts versus skins.
What's up with that? Who started that?
Well, someone's got a clear advantage, unless it's all based in homosexuality, which most sports are to me.
I was just going to say, which does seem like the backbone of most sports and almost all sodomy. And on that note,
thanks for doing it to him.
I had so much fun learning and playing with you, and this just really goes to show that the best way to learn is through play. Good night.
And if you made it this far, you can find us everywhere at Speculating Wildly Pod, and all of our links are in the show description.
Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and most importantly, recommend us to your weird uncle.